Hey, hello everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we're honoring our Asian American and Pacific Islander community, plus a look at all the exciting events happening out in Ward 4. Joining us with this and a whole lot more is, of course, our Ward 4 Councilwoman. You know who it is, Frances Allen-Palenske. Welcome back.
Thank you, Dave.
How are you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
We have a great show today. Very exciting special guest with us. Before we get to that, though, we're going to tell everybody out there, if you're not exactly sure where Ward 4 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you right here on the map. It's out in the great northwest area of our city. If you live in that area or work in that area, of course, you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you are a resident out there, you are represented on the city council by none other than Frances Allen-Palenske. Well, our first guest is proud to call Las Vegas her hometown. She has an impressive resume with more than 2 decades of leadership experience in the world of sports, legal, corporate, and gaming sectors. For the first time on this show, we're very thrilled to welcome the president of your Las Vegas Raiders, Sandra Douglas Morgan. Welcome, Sandra. It's great to have you on the program.
It's great to be here, David, to be here live and with obviously with Councilwoman as well, and to celebrate AAPI month. Happy to be here.
You know, we're excited to have you. Now, Councilwoman, a lot of people may not know that both you and Sandra are of Korean descent.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, both of your mothers are Korean, correct?
Yes, yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit. How has that inspired both of you, your Korean roots? How has that inspired you in your current life?
I got to ask, did your mom tell you growing up that kids in Korea go to school 6 days a week, and if you're bad, you're going to go to Korea? Because I still have childhood trauma.
Yes. There were a lot of woven threats, I think, about, education. And one thing, though, that I know my mother always highlighted was how much teachers were like the most respected profession, yes, in Korea. And just how, it's also Teacher Appreciation Week as well. So just kind of talking about how she saw the difference between how, the U.S. kind of treats teachers versus Korea. I mean, you're basically molding the next generation of people. But education was something I know was very, very stressed and important in our households.
Well, and you both have taken that to heart. You going on to getting a legal degree, you same thing, and with your own children, I know the stressing of education.
I might be using the 6-day line myself.
You pulled that out of the arsenal too. Well, very good. Well, let me ask you both. Your Korean roots, how has that influenced your leadership styles, both of you?
Sure. No, I'm happy to start. My mother, very incredibly hardworking and always instilled the importance of education. She worked in the gaming industry here. I mentioned kind of a little bit earlier, started at the Horseshoe. I saw the photos of her in front of the Horseshoe, worked many times nights in swing shift. And always, my sister and I always had, my father usually worked in the day, my mother worked at night, but always made sure someone was home and just said, Sandra, get an education because you want as many options as possible so that you have as much flexibility as possible. So truly the importance of hard work, and I think just seeing and hearing stories about what she went through, right? Having to work different hours. As many kids in Las Vegas, Christmas was celebrated on Christmas Eve because she would always work Christmas. But it's about, I think showing up and making sure, regardless of how you're treated, she had some great people in her life that I think helped her. And even when she ended up moving and going to a different casino, it was a pit boss that kind of, supported her along the way. But also some challenges, right? When, English isn't your first language and how sometimes people treat you because they make certain assumptions. All of those stories I remember hearing as a young child, either whether it be when she was speaking to my father, kind of resonated with me. And so when I think about my leadership style, it's about inclusivity and to make sure that you're not treating and assuming and treating people based on what they look like, what they sound like, what other preconceived notions you have, and obviously to give people opportunities based on their merit, based on their hard work, and just their dedication to whatever organization.
Kudos for you. Councilman, I can relate. My grandparents were from Italy and Sicily, could not speak English. And to Sandra's point, when you don't speak English in America, sometimes it can really be a disadvantage. And talk about that with your own mom and her experience. Both your moms were first generation Americans.
We are second generation.
They were
first gen. My mother came in the early 70s and owned small businesses because she wasn't allowed to practice pharmacy in the United States, even though she was licensed and went to school for pharmacy. So that's the reason actually why we ended up in Nevada, because the state of Nevada would allow her to practice.
Interesting. I didn't know that story.
Interesting how progressive even Nevada was in about the the early 80s, and that's how my family ended up here, because she was able to practice when economy was down and the small businesses didn't thrive.
I never knew that.
But the small business, I grew up in the back of a donut shop. It's 40 years later, I don't want to see a donut. But that drive, that 7 days a week, 365 days a year, working all the time, that discipline that it takes, uniquely Korean, and I carry it with me, and I know that you do too.
Yeah.
Well, I know how hard you work, and I suspect you are very much the same. Talk a little bit about that. You both have very diverse ethnic backgrounds. Talk about how that's an advantage. I think it seems that you're going to have a perspective on the world that many others aren't going to have. Start with you, Councilwoman.
We like to say here in Nevada, Nevada is diverse, Las Vegas is diverse. Las Vegas looks like what United States will look like in 2060. We're that diverse. And it's one of the real reasons we're both UNR grads also too. And what drew me to Southern Nevada was a more diverse population, more economic opportunity, all those things. It really does make a difference when you look out your window and you see people that look like you.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting with even Las Vegas's history. You know, we've heard the Mississippi of the West.
Yeah.
You've heard stories, and there's actually reported stories about the segregation that happened. You know, you had Sammy Davis being able to actually perform on the Strip, but couldn't stay
hard to believe,
on the Strip. And then you have a Hartman House, which is incredible in the historic West Side here in your great city as well. So, you say advantage as far as, yes, having different, I think, lived experiences through our parents, different cultural backgrounds. I see that as an advantage. I wish more people did. I don't think it's a negative to kind of look different or sound different. And as the population is changing, again, it goes back to merit, hard work. And I think Las Vegas, being in the hospitality capital of the world, now the sports and entertainment capital of the world, we're a hospitable group, right? And so we love green more than above any other color, right? And I think with that, it is,
yes, there is that.
What do we do to make sure our fans come here? What do we do to make sure people that want to continue to come to Las Vegas? And I think just being, growth and business minded and knowing that all people can contribute to this economy, that's what's helped Las Vegas to thrive.
That is so well said. So well said. So, got to ask some Korean questions here. So, okay, ready? So, favorite Korean dish? I love it all, but what's yours?
Probably bibimbap. It's rice at the bottom and vegetables and meat. You mix it all together, and literally the word means mixed rice. And, delicious, almost a national treasure.
And
Sandra?
Very, very close second. I mean, bulgogi is mine.
That's mine too.
Is,
That's mine too. My son's as well. Yeah. So just say that word to him, and he's like, "Dad, I'm with you. Where are we going?" So.
And I left our headquarters obviously to come here, and it was there's always different dishes, and they cook for the guys on the team and everyone in the building Korean fried rice today, and I was like, how? And I said I couldn't eat it today because I didn't want I wanted to make sure that I was welcome here because it's a strong scent, and I said
yes, something like the kimchi. Yeah, it's
put that aside for me. So the team is going to do that.
Yes. Well, Sandra, you recently received the Lotus Leadership Award. That happened back in May here at City Hall. And Councilwoman, I know this is a source of pride for you. Why don't you guys talk about that a little bit? Councilwoman, maybe explain what it is, and then Sandra, talk about your perspective of receiving it.
After getting elected, it was really important to me to focus city staff and our city hall here on AAPI. There wasn't much celebrated, and this is our month. So really, I'm at 2.5 years now. Every year we built bigger and bigger and bigger. And
it's a big event now.
Yeah. And there's a line and all the things. And I tapped old Unni over here, which is older, a friend with great respect.
That's the word means.
Yes. And I said it would really make it extra special if we could get you to come. And I hustled her. she couldn't say no. And to make it special, we added this award for her because really, opinion shapers and homegrown folks like Sandra are what make Las Vegas thrive. And it's so important to acknowledge that, particularly in AAPI month, because we're kind of a small, close-knit group. I'm blessed to have this opportunity to shed a light on something positive.
Well, that's awesome. Sandra, you got to be humbled to receive this.
Incredibly humbled, and she surprised me. I did not know I was getting the first ever Lotus Leadership Award, but it was truly, truly honored. One, that honestly, Councilwoman, that you thought enough of me to do this, and to be here with so many people that have dedicated their lives to public service is important. I was in public service as well. I don't think people here outside of the building understand the hard work that you all do each and every day in the departments throughout up and down City Hall. So to see this incredible plaza that's being built, it's a great way to celebrate you. And so I'm honored to receive it from you and with all of the incredible employees.
That's so kind of you to say, because you are someone who has received many, many awards. First African-American city attorney in the state of Nevada in the history. For those that don't know, her mother is Korean, father is African-American. So that is a huge honor. You were also vice chair of the Super Bowl host committee. I was on the PR committee. That was a lot of work.
Get ready to do it again?
Well, when they said it's going to be 5 more years, it's like, oh, thank God. It's great to have it here. It's exciting, but it was a heavy lift, as you well know. You know, I know now I don't have 4 years to go. It's like, but we have the national championship in college
27.
football coming.
27.
So I'm bracing for that, because I just know that's going to be a lot of work too, but it's fun.
No, and your work on that committee, it was incredible, and it was truly, I think, a team effort. But I do think the first was going to be the hardest. So now that we have a little bit of a playbook, we have a little bit of a blueprint.
Right.
I think with that, with national championship, you know, we know how obviously to work together. And I think when the city kind of just comes around an event, well, it'll be great.
I agree, and there was so much pressure on us too. That first, it had to be Las Vegas standard, and so we were all feeling like, oh, we can't fumble, to use a football analogy. But I think it was, if anything, but it was just. All we got was just positive feedback, and fans were like, "Well, can we have it here again every year?" You know?
I've said I don't know about every year.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh."
I think the LBCBA would definitely want it every year, though.
I'm on the board. I said, oh, yes.
We were like, "Well, we need to share it with the other NFL cities," you know. But well, Sandra, while we have you're here, while we have you here, we got to talk some Raiders here too. We're excited. So I got to ask you a couple things. What is your favorite only in Las Vegas kind of moment since the Raiders came to town? Something that was like, that could only have happened here with the Raiders in Las Vegas. Wouldn't have happened in Oakland. Wouldn't have happened in LA.
You know, there's I have a lot of different things, because, you know, I'm from Las Vegas, right? So everything I think is, I should say, elevated in the best way when it comes to hospitality. But then I talked to some of members of my team who worked in Oakland, or even some in LA, and then were here, and they were like, "This is a Vegas thing," and it was so funny to me. Well, one, I would just say, being able to host the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, and the draft here is definitely a Raiders thing in Las Vegas, because if it wasn't for the Raiders, we wouldn't have Allegiant Stadium, and we wouldn't be able to host those 3 incredible events. But as far as like a game day experience, there was a tailgate area, and there was a little boy that was running around, and he was throwing a ball to a woman that was dressed as a pirate, and there was a guy on stilts, and there was Raiders like in the tailgate area, and I thought, this is something.
It's kind of like Cirque du Soleil marries the Raiders.
Yes, but everyone was having fun, and he was just loving to throw up the ball, and the stilts kind of came out of nowhere, and there was music, and it was a great kind of game.
You wouldn't see that in Oakland. You know, that's the kind of a Vegas thing. You have to have the performers to do that, right? Exactly. And so then, Councilwoman, you know, we got Pete Carroll now as the head coach, legendary coach, Super Bowl rings, the whole 9 yards. And in the NFL draft, Ashton Genty, runner-up for the Heisman, going to be our running back.
Yes, incredible, incredible. To have Pete Carroll's leadership in the building is just, like, as you mentioned, Super Bowl champ, national college football championship, and it has just a level of optimism and a drive to encourage people to compete at everything, which really just, again, elevates everyone. So we're really excited about it, and I hope you are too.
It's going to be a good season. It's going to be a good season.
Councilman, I've heard people, you know, the Raiders, their line is commitment to excellence, right? And I heard some folks talking about, I think it was on the radio, they were talking about how Pete Carroll is the exemplary commitment to excellence. He kind of lives that in everything that he does, and he's like this perfect fit with that Raiders mentality. So we're sports fans.
We are.
So,
we are.
So, this is exciting stuff. So the outlook for this season, I'm pretty optimistic. I mean, you're the president of the organization. I'm sure you are too. But the draft was great. A new coach coming in. It seems like things are really aligning.
We're so excited, very optimistic, and you know, it is another kind of saying is the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and I truly feel that way. We're having training camp here in Southern Nevada, so excited about that. Plan to have several open training camp practices to get the community involved and have them come and see the guys, just, you know, live and very close. And I'm really excited about this upcoming season. We know we're going to have incredible activations that people of all ages and backgrounds and honestly different price points can be able to enjoy a wonderful Raiders game. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's awesome. Well, we only have about a minute to go, so I'll give you both. Anything, Councilman, you want to add? Sandra, anything you want to add while we have you? It's just that it's been a pleasure to have you here, and we'd love to keep you for another, 15 minutes.
Well, I'm honored to be here. I know that I love that you have an AAPI kind of employee resource group. We have our newest employee resource group at the Raiders. It's called PACE, and it's also for AAPI folks with background and our allies. And so, really looking forward to being able to continue to highlight such an incredible, rich, diverse community that even exists within the AAPI community. So thank you for having me here today.
The Councilwoman, Sandra, I have to tell you, she has done an amazing job. As she mentioned before her presence here, we didn't really celebrate AAPI that much here at the city, other than maybe, it's this month and
verbal.
Yeah, verbally. But now it's become a big deal around here that employees really look forward to. Everyone.
I feel like the line at our little reception was very, very long. One of the better attended events that we have here at City Hall.
No question. So. And people stuck around for all the different entertainment, not just the food.
Yeah. Oh, the food is exceptional.
The food is a big draw, got to admit. But they stuck around for everything, hula instruction and everything. So it's good stuff. But, well, I'm afraid we're out of time. But Sandra, thank you so much for being with us. Best of luck to the Raiders this season. Pleasure having you on here. Hometown woman made good here, doing us all proud, and continued success to you. And I'll have you back in the next segment of this show.
I'll be back.
Because we have lots to talk about, you and me, too. So, folks, we need to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll tell you about some exciting happenings in Ward 4 right after this.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about safety with Councilwoman Frances Allen-Palenske. You recently launched a program involving something called a Knox box. And for those who don't know, tell the viewers what a Knox box is and why this is such an important safety tool, especially for people who may be getting up in age.
It's a great item that helps seniors age in place. It's a small, secure box, almost indestructible. We actually drove over it, and it wasn't compromised at all.
It's like a mini safe, right?
It's a mini safe, and only our fire department has the master key to unlock these vaults that go on household residential doors. And we're particularly targeting seniors because seniors are a particularly vulnerable population, maybe have more medical needs. They call 911 on average a little bit more often. And when the fire truck shows up, if the person has fallen and can't get up, the fire department has to break entry.
Generally, yeah, that's
force
right.
the door, break a window, and that takes time if the person is having a cardiac episode. If
Goes to the hospital, now their house isn't secured.
Right, the window's broken or the door has been busted through the lock. So this small key safe gains them access. Like I mentioned earlier, only the fire department has it.
And explain, Councilwoman, the resident's key is inside that little safe, the Knox box.
Yes.
So fire department shows up at the house. The person inside can't get to the door, so the fire department can open the Knox box, get the person's key to the door, open the door without breaking it down. So, wow.
It's a great tool, a great tool.
And now, you had a program that made these available free of charge for people in the Sun City area. You and Commissioner April Becker partnered, had some grant money. Tell us about this. This is exciting.
She got the county to post $100,000. We did the same here at the city. We purchased $200,000 at a discounted rate through the Knox Box Company, and we're able to issue them out, and we still are issuing them out.
Okay.
If you're a senior, you have to be a senior citizen, and you qualify, please, we'll put the phone number on the screen, and we'll put a flyer where you can find more information. And even if you don't, with that big purchase, I was able to negotiate with Knox Box a year-long reduced rate, even outside. So a Knox Box, made in the USA, lots of steel, heavy, runs about $450.
And for everyone's knowledge, how it works, as Councilwoman was explaining, you hang it on your door, typically your front door. So when the fire department shows up,
they can see it.
They can see it. I've driven through Sun City. I was telling you before we went on the air, and I saw a few out there myself.
Proud, so proud.
People are using these. And again, the advantage is if you can't get to the door, the fire department can let themselves in and take care of you without doing any damage to the house. Yeah.
And for those who are particularly security minded, the master Knox box key is on every fire engine in a locked box.
That's right.
So,
key important. And you know of this. Your husband is a retired fire captain, so you know firsthand that this is how this works.
In the fire station, the Knox box key is just sacred.
Yeah.
It's never compromised.
Very good. Councilman, tell us about the event that you had in Sun City. You had a big turnout at this thing. Hundreds of people showed up. So people are thinking along these lines.
Over 400 folks show up to learn about it. We had Chief Billy Samuels and Chief Fernando Gray from the two respective fire departments.
County and City, yeah.
And myself and April Becker. It was great.
Look at that crowd, my goodness.
Interjurisdictional cooperation. It was beautiful because, you know, sometimes the governments don't get along with one another.
I've heard that, yeah.
But it was really great working with all of them. It's been a beautiful collaboration, and we all want to make people safer at home.
Yeah. This is great video showing how the Knox box works. And you can see the firefighter there taking the key out, opening the door. Councilwoman, in reverse, if you have the Knox box, you're still going to have to get in touch with the fire department to open the Knox box to put your key in there. You can't just do it yourself. So talk about that a little bit.
You saw in the video, that's Rick from Fire Prevention. We have a thriving smoke alarm program, which I know you are very
I've taken
familiar
advantage
with
of myself, yeah.
Yes. The fire prevention folks are the ones that will go out to the home after the resident makes that duplicate key. They open up the safe, they put the duplicate key in, and they close it, and it won't be accessed again unless the fire department needs to get in.
To help you. So, boy, that's really terrific. Councilwoman, we have some other things to talk about, but anything else you want to add on Knox box? This is just a wonderful program, and again, emphasize that we still have some available for people who qualify age-wise.
Yes. Please call. Please call. It's been done a long time in the commercial setting for businesses with the Knox box key. This is the first time in America it's been launched for residential purposes.
Great point. You know, I remember Chief Gray, our fire chief here at the city, talked about businesses have been using these for years, but this is the first time for residents. So good for you, Councilwoman. Good for you and Commissioner Becker. Kudos. This is a great program. Kudos also on something else. You had something back on June 7th called the Dazzle Prom. This is a wonderful idea. Councilwoman Bruni and you partnered on this. Talk about this. This is really heartwarming. I saw a lot of the video that was posted. It was something.
Well, as we know, those with diverse abilities don't often have as many opportunities for socialization and for really fun as a lot of more mainstream kids. So I was very, very proud to host what we call the Dazzle Prom.
And it was that.
And we had an amazing turnout. It was beautiful. In my 47 years on this planet, I don't think I've done anything as significant. So wonderful turnout. Every participant was connected with a buddy, and I thought maybe people wouldn't dance. I mean, that dance floor was
you
on
were dancing
fire.
Too. Yeah, I saw some video. You cutting the rug too.
Yes, so meaningful and so beautiful. Really filled my heart.
You know, Councilwoman, I have to tell you from a personal perspective, I have a nephew who has autism, and so for something like that, it just puts a lump in my throat because when he was young in high school,
not much.
To your point, there wasn't much for people who suffered with autism or have autism.
Yep.
And so to see something like that, I wish he could have been a part of something. He would have been dancing like dancing like crazy. So good stuff. Congratulations. That is really terrific. I think it's going to be an annual thing. I'm thinking.
We're trying.
How could you not do it again?
And we have to increase capacity. We sold out over 400 participants.
Councilwoman Bruni had mentioned that to me. So very good. Well, so Dazzle Prom next year. You got
and if you'd like to volunteer, please. It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of decorations. We also want to mention too, we got 4th of July coming up here.
Can you believe it?
I know. It's just like, where's this year gone? And
Walk speed.
we have Blast Off in the Basin again. Now this year it's you, Councilwoman Bruni, and the mayor partnering.
The mayor wanted in.
Exactly. I love
likes
this
to
event.
do the fun things.
Talk about this Buckskin Basin. Go with the fireworks there. Don't set your neighborhood on fire.
No,
you know?
let us do it.
Yes,
we do it. We have the choreographed music. The
Yes.
patriotic choreographed music makes it oh so special. And we've got marching bands and fire engines, and it's just a great place. The best place in Southern Nevada to celebrate 4th of July.
Yeah.
Please bring your families.
And Councilwoman, is there any charge for this event?
Zero.
It's zero. It's free, everybody.
Zero
it's
charge.
free.
We do have food trucks available for purchase.
Yes, exactly. You know, and bring water because it'll be warm that night.
You know
Let's
it.
give them the details, Councilwoman. July 4th, of course, 8 o'clock, Buckskin Basin Park. That's basically in the area of West Alexander. Is that kind of that best?
Gowan, West Alexander.
Gowan, West Alexander. And
Tenaya.
it kicks off again at 8 o'clock, and it's a great fireworks show.
It is.
How many minutes? It went on forever. It seemed like last time around. Yeah.
We won't commit on the minutes, but it is spectacular.
It is,
And the
yeah.
patriotic music makes it oh so special. And whether you believe it or not, actually in that basin, it's about 10 degrees cooler than the thermostat shows for the rest of the city. So we almost had a cool breeze at 9 o'clock when the fireworks were popping.
Wow. And again, folks, I love this event because it's spectacular, and it's going to be far better than anything that you or
In
your
your
neighbors
cul-de-sac.
might do illegally in your neighborhood. And let's not have any more fires, homes damaged. You know, every year it's a bad night because something goes awry. And so come
As a
to,
fire wife,
yeah.
the firefighters.
It's the worst night of the year.
The worst night of the year for
Yeah.
fire department.
Yeah.
They see terrible things. People, you know, lose hands. I don't
Eyes,
too graphic,
exactly,
but
exactly.
don't be stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
Come to
please.
our party.
Exactly. July 4th, blast off in the basin. Well, Councilwoman, we're about out of time here. Really good show all the way around, but we want to mention everybody to everybody out there. We always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Frances Allen-Palenske, you can give her a call. The number is 702-229-2524, or send her an email. It's fpalenske@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get back to you. You can also visit the Ward 4 website or subscribe to the Councilwoman's newsletter, which I'm going to tell you how to do in just a couple of minutes. So great having you on the program. Looking forward to doing it again in 6 weeks. Man, we covered everything today.
We did.
So.
Lots
Good
cooking.
stuff. Enjoy the 4th of July out
Yes.
at Blast Off in the Basin.
We'll see you there.
Okay, sounds very good. And folks, don't miss our next show beginning on June 26th with Ward 2 Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. City of Las Vegas TV is streaming now. You can catch all of our shows on YouTube at City of Las Vegas TV. You can also watch online at lasvegasnevada.gov/connect. And be sure to check out that newsletter I mentioned. You can subscribe by scanning the QR code in the credits at the end of this very show. Hope you do. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time around. Thanks so much.